want to warm up, why not head to the gym? And that's where Leah Sarich is at Talisman Center this morning as part of our Fitness Friday. She is working up a sweat. And what do you have planned for us this morning, Leah?
Well, we're going to talk about personal training this morning, Jill. So we're going to learn basically what it is that a personal trainer can do for you, and maybe how you choose that personal trainer, that kind of thing. So this is good information because I think a lot of people at this time of year are actually looking for a personal trainer. Yeah, so we're going to chat with one right now. We've got Chris Quero with me this morning. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, good, good. So you're a personal trainer here at Talisman Center. Tell me just a little bit about, you know, how, if someone was starting to look for a personal trainer, what would they be looking for in a personal trainer?
Well, it really is up to what you need.
Right.
So depending on, at the Talisman Center, we have a lot of personal trainers that specialize in certain things. So biggest suggestion is come in, talk to them, and see which one will fit your needs.
Okay, so it's a very personal decision.
Absolutely.
Excellent. What does a personal trainer do for someone?
Well, I mean, again, like I said, a lot of specializations. Myself, I specialize in injury rehab, so I can help set a program that a person can follow in order to achieve what they're trying to achieve, like pretty much their goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that you're also a bit about motivating that person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about how that works.
Right. So the way, I mean, personally, the way I motivate my clients is I try to empower them, make sure they can take ownership of their health. And once they do that, they'll be motivated to work hard on their own. And once they start seeing results because they wanted to work hard on their own, they'll be motivated to keep going.
Yeah. But what about those ones? I'm sure you must get a client every once in a while that's going to fight you on it. Like,
Absolutely.
oh, yeah. How does that work?
So I make sure that I educate them. A lot of them will not want to do what I'm making them do because they don't understand. But once they're educated and they're informed, they'll buy into it.
Okay,
so,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Now, in terms of a personal trainer, how often do you need to see a personal trainer? Or is it, again, different for everyone?
It is different for everyone, depending on your fitness level coming in. I suggest if you're new to this, 2 to 3 times a week to start, and it just helps you get comfortable in the gym, get comfortable using the weights in the machines, and after once you're comfortable with that, once a week, you know, just so we can keep checking if you're improving, if you're meeting your goals.
Right. Well, that's exciting. That's wonderful. So when we come back, we're going to learn a little bit more about some specific exercises that some people might want to try later on. Chris, thanks so much.
Not a problem.
I do have a personal trainer with me right now, Amy. And Amy, tell me just a little bit too about the group personal training sessions, because I'd never heard of this before. You can actually do a group session.
We can. So you can come with a group of friends if you want, or you can come here and we'll match you up with some new friends. It does help save some cost. So the sessions range from mid-200s right up to $500, depending on how many sessions you're doing, if you're doing 8 or 24, and how many people are in your group.
Right. What would be the real benefit of doing a group session as compared to just doing individual sessions with a personal trainer?
Some of that motivation and that accountability. So your friends are holding you accountable along with the trainer, and they're also motivating you. And it's that social aspect. So you're really getting that social connection with people while you're coming to work out.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for that, Amy. And now we have Michelle, and Michelle's personal training right now, as a matter of fact. Her client's right back there. Tell me a little bit now. Cardio, of course, is going to be a major league component. Tell me a little bit why cardio is so important.
So cardio is mainly important to help increase your work capacity. So we want to really build up your heart and lung function, which is going to give you kind of the base to be able to do a lot more exercise. It's also one of the best ways to help you slim down, kind of tone up and look good. So that's always a little bit of the vanity side as well.
For sure. And that's got to be motivating too. When people start seeing the weight come off, that's
Definitely.
A motivating thing.
Yeah, when you look better in your clothes, you always want to keep coming back.
For sure, that makes sense. Now, what happens though if you have an injury? Because I would imagine a lot of people that are coming now to start this whole personal training process in January, maybe have been injured, maybe haven't done a lot of exercise before. What are the things that you have to factor in there?
Yeah, so what you want to think about with an injury is what you can do to sort of work around it. You never want to just keep pushing through an injury because that's just going to prolong your healing process. So for instance, if you had something like a knee injury, what you want to think about for your cardio training is how you can still get the exercise in without aggravating the joint. So you can take your workouts to the pool, for instance, and you can do swimming. Or you can do something a little lower impact, like use the elliptical machine, just anything that's really not going to strain that joint too much.
Okay. Now, what if, for example, if you've already had some physiotherapy and you just really have some specific instructions from the physiotherapist? Is that something that you take into consideration? Do they talk? How does that work?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So lots of times I have clients come in with a program that the physiotherapist has already laid out for them.
Okay.
And then what we do is we incorporate that into their other exercises as well. Just to really make sure that they're still following up with their treatment as well as working on the rest of the body.
Excellent. That's good information. All right, I'll let you get back to your client there.
Thanks very much.
Look at her go. Their personal trainer. There she is. We're going to talk this morning. We're going to talk to Grant and Kathy. Now, Kathy is an Ironman, so she's actually done the Ironman. She did it last fall. She's doing it again in the spring. Your guys are sort of an example of how this personal trainer relationship actually works, because they just had their 1-year anniversary. So there you go. Kathy, tell me a little bit about what Grant has done for you as a personal trainer.
Well, right now I get a specialized program based on what my needs are. So if I can't work out on a Tuesday, there's nothing programmed for that week. So it's spread out, it's all done as per what I can do each day based on work-life balance kind of stuff.
No kidding. Now, you guys have been together for a year. What does being together for a year actually do for you guys as a client sort of trainer relationship?
Well, for me, it allows me to get to know the athletes. So when you start out with someone, there's initial meetings, and you hear about their work week and what they want to do for training. And then as you start to work with someone over a while, you actually get to figure out what kind of training works best for them. How can I get Kathy to a race in the best form without getting her injured, and something that will balance with her work, as well as what are ways you can tweak to make her continually improve. When you get to know someone, there's that learning curve that you have to travel, pretty steep, but now after a year, then you start to get it pretty dialed in.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, one of the reasons we're out here in the morning is for people that are maybe just starting to get into fitness and that kind of thing. Kathy, you're hardcore, right? If we're talking Ironman, this is pretty major league.
I was never like it though. Like, it was something that it gradually built over time. So anybody can, over time, you can do an Ironman.
Right.
It's just proper dedication and training, really.
Right.
That it comes down, and the time commitment and the willing to do it.
Right. Why do you want to do another Ironman? Why did you want to do the first one?
I think it might have been a little bit of insanity. That might have been it.
There's a little insanity for sure.
It was more of a challenge. So I've done halves, and I was like, and I did okay in them. I was like, let's take it up a notch. I lost, as everybody knows, last week I lost like 65 pounds doing my first one. So it was more of a weight loss goal and see what I could actually do on the bike. So.
And Grant, as a trainer, what's different about training someone for an Ironman, say, or a big marathon, as opposed to just someone who wants to get fit and lose a bit of weight?
So a lot of it just comes down to the time and the dedication. Not the dedication from continually doing it, but the time that you're going to commit to it, as well as the training regime. So someone like Kathy that I'm going to train to do, say, a 13, 14-hour race, you know, we have to be very specific and make sure she's getting the distance in. Whereas someone that is doing something very short or just wanting to do other sort of weight loss things, then you may spend more time in the weight room. You may do different activities like a rowing machine, or, you know, even walking with their kids or something like that, just to get them started out. Whereas Kathy's now at a level where her training becomes very specific towards the event that they do. So depending on what event that is, short or long, you train their program around it, so then you prep them for that race. That's correct.
That makes sense. Well, Kathy, we'll check in with you next Friday for Fitness Fridays. And coming off, you guys, we're going to look into arms and legs specifically. So we're working again with Chris, personal trainer here at Talisman Center, and he's got me working my legs right now. So tell me just a little bit about what we're doing here.
So you're going to be doing it's almost like it's a progression to a squat moving away from the wall. So what this is it's going to teach you how to properly drop and stack the hips, knees, and ankles.
Okay.
Right.
Should I give it a go?
Go for it.
Okay. Tell me if I'm doing this right or not.
So perfect, you're gonna go down and keep rolling your back on the ball.
Oh, okay.
Perfect, and stop there, and you're gonna go right back up.
Right back up. Yeah, I can totally feel that right here. Right here. Why is this ball here?
So the ball is there to activate the adductors on the inside of the legs. It's part of your groin. It also activates a muscle around your knee. It's part of the quads. It's called your VMO. That helps with the patella tracking properly. Okay. So a lot of people will actually not fire that muscle properly. So including the ball on the squat really helps fire that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if I've got an injury in and around this area?
So again, this is a great progression for that, because first of all, it teaches you how to squat properly. Again, stacking hips, knees, and ankle. Yeah. And it takes some tension off because of the ball, and you're leaning on it.
Oh, I'm leaning on it. Yeah, I always forget that part.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, now this is the legs. Let's move on to an arm exercise.
Sure.
We have Dave here with us.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about this exercise and what you're going to do.
So this exercise originally is it's called a deep pattern rehab movement. And what this is it takes the shoulders when you bring it up, and it actually works out the whole arms.
Excellent.
So
Dave, let's see it,
Right, so what he's gonna do here, he's actually gonna go in a partial squat. He's gonna have his arm, this other arm on his hip, and he's going to make sure that there's no rotation whatsoever in the body, and it's just all arms. What he's going to do is he's going to set his shoulder blades as well. He's going to drop his shoulders and move it back, squeezing that scapula.
Okay.
And what he's going to do, it's exactly like your staying alive move.
Nice.
So he's going to go from one side of his body, going up, leading with the elbow and up. Excellent. Coming back down. Excellent, exactly like that.
And why is this good in terms of protection, too, if you've got an injury?
So this is excellent for the shoulder, because a lot of times when people have shoulder problems, it's going to limit their arm workout. So what this does is that you're not going overhead.
Right. You're
So
going
it's
across body.
Exactly, and it's still giving you the shoulder workout.
Perfect.
So
that's great. Chris, thank you so much. Dave, you're doing great work there. Corey is with me here now. Corey, you're a personal trainer here. We're going to work with Heather on this one.
Yep.
What are we going to do?
Okay, so Heather here hypothetically has a back injury.
Right.
And so
A very common injury. You must see it all the time.
exactly, lower back's very common. We're going to work her from just strengthening those muscles surrounding the spine into being able to do inflection and rotation exercises.
Wonderful. Let's have a look at it.
So, down working with Heather. First, we're going to get Heather to identify the muscles she needs to contract there. So, hands on your hips and just put inside your hips and cough. Okay, so you see those muscles? Those are your TAs. I want you to contract those, pull your belly button down towards your spine, towards the floor. And at the same time, you're going to contract your glutes and you're going to shift your hips back. They're going to roll back. So you feel your back flattening out against the ground. Okay, so contract those muscles.
So you're stabilizing first. Is that what you're doing?
Exactly.
Okay.
I want her to strengthen those muscles without putting any tension on her spine.
Okay.
So once we've worked up from there, we can do a little flexion with the spine. So now I'm going to get you to contract that and do a crunch. Hold that. Do it a couple more times. So now we have a little bit of flexion there.
Right.
We're starting to strengthen those, and we can get into some rotational. So I'm going to get you up into a V-sit.
So the bottom line here is that you can do exercises and you can hold that without actually hurting your spine if you have an injury.
Exactly. We want to strengthen those muscles surrounding the spine before we do any work there.
Wonderful.
Okay,
Corey,
so
we've got to go, so we were just a little tight on time. Heather, thanks. You can relax.
Good job.
That's it for us for Fitness Fridays. We'll be back here next Friday for more Fitness Fridays.